Hello, everyone, and welcome to We Know Scripted TV's coverage of the sex lives of college girls. That's right, your toxic faves are back together to talk another Mindy Kaling show. And today we're going to be talking season 3, episodes 7 and 8. We're almost at the end. I am your host, Sasha Joseph, and of course, joined by someone who's always going to peel your oranges. Chappell is here. Look, I was nice.
You were nice and accurate because I could peel an orange like nobody's business. I'm surgical with these hands.
What animal are you putting it?
I don't know. I could do like I'm like like those clowns who can make the
No, you
balloon
have to
animals.
say what's your favorite animal. That
Oh
one.
yeah, I failed the test. Look at
Yeah,
that.
you did.
Look, put me in the game, the dexterity test. I could do the Squid Game challenge. With the one with the cookie.
Ooh,
I could kill it.
well,
Okay. Yeah.
and that could show up in other tests. Yeah.
Right. Eat this cookie out of this shape out of this cookie. I'm like, got it. Surgical. Whatever you need, honey. That's what I'm saying. Tag me in. I would have passed this
Ooh,
test, Sasha. But I can't wait to talk to you about both of these episodes because
I'm
this was
so
fun.
excited. Yeah, this is like why we signed up. Okay, I feel
Yeah.
like I say it all the time, but like these 2 episodes are it. This is why we come together and our toxicity just,
Hmm.
multiplies when we get this kind of content, I feel. So I'm excited. And with that, I think, you know what? Let's get into it. I think let's just start with Bella real quick because our girl still has not had sex yet, unfortunately. Currently, and that's where we meet her at the start of episode 7, and the dates are old folks home dates.
Hmm.
Is that what you've done? Is that the game?
I love a good community service activity. Even
That's
today,
why I asked. Yep.
even today, like years after college, most likely to be at a soup kitchen or someone like I love service. I do.
Hmm.
It's my thing. I don't know why God decided to give me the burden of wanting to help everybody who exists, but I love this kind of thing. And so I have been in a situation where I've invited a woman to come with me on with one of those activities, and she said no. And like saying no is one thing because it's not for everybody.
Yep.
But it was the way she said no that kind of like, huh, really? Sounds like you don't like helping people, or like that wouldn't be entertaining you. I ain't gonna lie to you, Sasha. It's kind of a deal breaker if you're not nice to people. Like that's to
Right.
me,
That's a
I,
big red flag.
that's a big red
Yeah.
flag. Needless to say, that did not end well. But it did end. It did end. So
It's fine. We'll make it work. But it's really interesting because Bella does end up going on the date, but and she was so surprised at how nice it was. But I think again they're getting caught in the like he's a nice guy, and that's kind of it moment. Fine. I just think he okay, I'm trying to figure out how to word this well, but you know how we usually get mad when writers write girls to fix boys, right? They'll be like, oh, this relationship will fix him. That's
mhm.
what I feel like is happening with Arvin and Bella. Where it's like, surely Arvin will fix our girl Bella.
Yeah, well, maybe there's some potential for him to be a good influence. I definitely see that
Hmm.
there. He's
Yes.
taking her to do service. He's
Yes.
clearly a little bit more measured than she is, a little bit more responsible when it comes to his position as a FAF. But there's still things that he can learn from Bella as well. Like he's got to learn to loosen up. The fact that she's like, how many parties have you gone to this year? And he's like, wait, calendar year or semester? And I'm thinking, what is happening? Because what do you mean? What do you
What's
mean
the
by that?
point of college?
Right, because I'm assuming this is the fall, right? So that means there
Yes.
was a whole ass spring semester, and the spring semester, the parties be different in the spring. Okay,
Well,
that's
you
what
just
we.
don't give a damn for some reason. What's
You
going on?
don't. The end. It's like you're about to go home for
Yeah,
3 months
that's what
potentially to go
it
live with your
is.
folks. You got to get
Mhm.
them last little wild moments out with your people. You mean to tell me you only went to one party this year, calendar year? Arvin, step outside, touch some grass, and then also take a shot.
Okay, and then they do actually end up going to a party, and of course, this is where our girl Taylor comes into the mix. Taylor, because Taylor is still lusting after her roommate, her very straight roommate, and she gets some advice from her queer elders, as we say, right? Don't go for straight girls. It's just heartbreak. They might kiss you here and there, but you're not like, this isn't going to go anywhere. This is a recipe for disaster. So she concocts a whole, like, plan that Bella has invited us, and we all have to go to this party that's also a queer fundraiser for someone to get top surgery. Beautiful cause. And Bella's like, oh, okay, then I guess I'm gonna go too, since you put my name on it. And Arvin's going. And now we're in Cowboy Carter, right? The college version of it all. And everyone's having the time of their life. Taylor kisses their roommate. She ignores said advice. And the roommate doesn't even kiss back. There's no baiting.
No.
It's straight no.
No. And it's wild. And you probably could speak to this a little bit more.
Yeah.
But Taylor's idea was that her roommate Chloe thinks she's straight.
Yes.
But the chemistry between the two of them is too strong. And maybe she just needs a little prodding to come on out and be with Taylor, who she should really be with. I'm like, okay, you've already brainwashed yourself, right? Like if someone tells you they're not into something or tells you what they are into, you got to believe them. And so, okay, fine. She tries to pull that. She kisses her without her consent. But I think from my point of view, and this could be some like old, antiquated view of, just like women in college. But sometimes I think the media had given this like carte blanche to women to go explore, in college.
Correct,
like, oh,
correct.
You could kiss a girl, you could kiss somebody, saying like, oh, it's fun. I kissed the girl and I liked it. We've all done it, like that kind of vibe. And I don't know if there are straight women out there who are fine with kissing other women, no matter
they
what.
are. I definitely know them. Those people. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I can't really speak to like the validity of it, but I do know it got very popular in the media for a while to like be like, no, these women can be straight and still kiss each other and everything be fine. And I don't know if Taylor was hoping like at worst that could happen, like, oh, she's not into it, but at least we had a moment. But this is the exact opposite. I'm not into it. I didn't give you any indication that I'm into it. And you did kiss me without consent. And so I was like, Taylor, this is a bad move all around. I was very concerned about what this might look like, moving forward, because kissing people without consent is sexual assault. Like, let's just call it what it is. So
and it's
you
your
got to read the room.
So someone that you have to live with like full time, that's so stressful. Like either way, why are we even wanting to date our roommates? Let's just not.
Can we talk about that too?
Yes.
Yeah, because you and I, we come from a level of like we're the uncle and aunties here. We've lived the college streets. We've worked at the college. Like, okay, rule number one: you don't room with your friend. Do not room with your best friend from high school.
Honestly,
if you want to be friends with them later on, that's a bad idea. That's rule number one. Now, don't get me wrong. There are outliers. Don't get in our comments like me and my best friend. Then congratulations.
There's exception to every rule. Okay.
Exactly. Y'all are the exception. Dating your roommate sounds like a bad idea. Why are you playing house in college? Everybody's going to do it at some point in college, but make no mistake, it is not advised, because you have to be able to have a fight with this person, to have a disagreement with this person, and not have to see them all day. That's like adults that are married with kids have issues, really like putting their fights aside and coming home and cohabitating. We know married people who don't even have the same home. Like I think Oprah is like Stedman still lives in the back house. There's so many examples of you don't cohabitate with people until you're mentally and emotionally ready to do that. And choosing to do that in college while dating your roommate who may or may not even be a member of the queer community is crazy. So Taylor, there were so many rules broken here. Where's your fav? Who's in charge? Bella, you should be talking to her.
Yeah, and Willow did, right? Like Willow did try to talk to Taylor and say like, I am your elder. And I think I don't mean that Taylor needs to be humbled. I just want Taylor to be a little bit less of a know-it-all. Like, I get it that you're British, but you don't need to be Hermione. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's too much. And unfortunately, we've all been there, so I understand. But I feel like if some older girl was giving me advice, I would always be like, oh, let me hear it out. Because I don't know dating like that, right? Like, for me particularly. So I don't know why Taylor can't just like for 1 second peel back her like layers or peel back her shell and understand that like, hey, I don't know it all. And then maybe I shouldn't like put myself up. But Taylor gives big Cancer energy sometimes to me because I'm like, yeah, you're just doing some dumbass shit because you built a whole romance in your brain. that might
Yeah.
not be there, me. So I understand, but don't do it. And of course, Taylor runs away as soon as the kiss happens, and then she gets hate crimed.
Gets hate crime in broad. Well, I was gonna say in broad daylight, but it was in public, right? It's frat week
It's
or whatever they're
outside the
doing.
calf, so I feel
Yeah,
like that's a bit like that's a
that
public
counts.
place. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're throwing eggs at them. Now, is this a hate crime or is these just this is just a fraternity being stupid? Because they did say y'all be on the lookout. It's Hell Week for this frat, and I guess they're required to do pranks. My fraternity is not known for doing pranks on people. That's not really my style, so I don't really know if that's a thing that people do.
Same. I was like, we have like consensual prank wars when we were in college, but it was us and a fraternity like going against each other. It was never like us doing it to unsuspecting people.
Yeah, because it gives hate crime energy for sure,
Yes.
especially considering she just left a queer rodeo fundraiser. So, not
Yeah.
great.
It's just all of it together was mess. That's all I'll
Hmm.
say. And of course, we meet speed dating person. I don't remember their name, even though we did get it last time. But oh well, we meet the person speed dating, and they throw a muffin back at them. Chivalrous. I love it.
Yeah.
They pass the boyfriend test. All right, and of course, they end up sleeping on the couch, which is so sweet.
Yeah. Made sure that Taylor got home and then slept on the couch and then was awakened to Taylor being like, and I'm appreciative. And now these two individuals from the same community are now kissing and everything is okay. I'm really hoping that things work out between Taylor and her roommate. Maybe Taylor can calm down a little bit.
Yeah,
Now, I know if
exactly.
anything, she's going to be hiding in Bella's room even more because that's embarrassing. The way I would just die if I kiss somebody without their consent and they hit me with a whoa, what was that?
I don't
I
even
might
like
transfer
you like
schools.
that. Yeah.
I might leave the school today. I might fake my death.
Yeah, there's no way you're not catching me at the same party.
Never.
That's one thing for my school. I don't feel you knew which parties, like who would be at which parties.
Right, right,
So
right,
if you
right.
needed to avoid or run into the right person, you knew who when to go where.
And she's got to shift her whole social life now because you
Yes.
can never go back. But that's the thing. She took Chloe to the queer fundraiser. Maybe,
Fair, fair,
maybe
fair, fair,
let
fair.
Chloe go back to wherever she was at, and you stay in this community. Like you're like, hey, don't invite Chloe nowhere else. Matter of fact, if you see Chloe go the other direction, because again, I would
I
be
don't know
mortified.
her. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chloe's over there and I'm over here, and that's the end of it.
Hmm.
You know what? And this goes back to what we talked about last podcast episode, right? Where storylines getting wrapped up quickly. This one, I would, for third hand embarrassment, I would like it to be wrapped up quickly.
Yeah, you got 30 minutes. You got 30 minutes. Let's get this over. Let's wrap it up.
Oh my God. It's so funny to me. I love it. And I am happy for Taylor. I think I'll just leave it at that because I don't know. It's very awkward. And girl, please, you have
But
30 minutes, like we said.
yeah, but also at this party, there's so much going on at this party.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly. Because,
first of
yeah,
all,
let's do it.
love a rodeo theme. You being
Oh,
an
insert
Oklahomie and
Chappelle's
I'm from
picture
Texas.
here.
Yeah, look, but that's the thing. We're from the South, the Southwest even. I feel like that wasn't like a theme that we did often because it kind of felt
No.
it feels a little cliche where we are, but I could see up north.
Up north, yeah. And I
Yeah,
think I wonder now, if we were going to go back to college, would it be like Cowboy Carter themed or
you probably
Shabuzi, right?
yeah.
Like that I could see,
Yeah, because
but
Cowboy
not
Carter
a
was
straight up cowboy.
or even like the Renaissance kind of cowboy.
Oh,
Remember the people who
yes.
wear like
Fair. Because people wear cowboy hats.
it's all metallic, the
Hmm.
silver and
I
stuff
have
like that.
my silver outfit on, correct?
Exactly. So I could see that kind of come into play. But I
Mhm.
thought this was very interesting. I don't think I've ever been to a party that had to be themed rodeo because it's Texas.
You just go to
It's just
the
people just be dressed like that all the time, and it's okay.
Yeah, because in not necessarily when I went to college, but when I was back home in Tulsa, my mom is really into line dancing, like
Yeah.
very. So I go or used to go with her to like the
Mhm.
line dancing bars,
Yeah.
and
Did
that's just how people dress.
Did y'all ever have to do line dancing in school? I
To
remember.
pass? No,
Yeah.
no, Casey.
So I remember when I was in elementary school, and that was prior to you, of course, getting
Yes.
here. But when I was in elementary school, that was a thing. Like in PE class, you would have like one of the like curriculum would be line dance or square dancing even.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I have heard of this. Now that you said square, you're right.
Yeah, like they would do square dancing and stuff, and it was just a part of just keeping kids moving around and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, everything can't be dodgeball and stuff. I'm sure they're not doing that anymore. But when I saw that they were doing line dance in the past, I was just like, that's not the most far fetched thing. And I couldn't tell if that was a Texas thing or if that was just like in the United States was doing the whole achy breaky heart of it all
Mhm.
for at the time. You know?
Oh my God, that's really, yeah, because I never had to take PE when I moved to America because I ran track. So I
Hmm.
never know what they were doing in PE. But you're right, because I remember in my youth group, they would talk about this, that, oh, we had to learn this in school. I
Yeah,
just never put
yeah.
it together until right this moment.
It was a thing. It was a thing. I look. I have never met a line dance I didn't like. Okay,
Oh,
I, I
same.
well, I'm hopping in the line every time. I'm gonna figure it out. Give me 5 seconds and I'll figure out the move. So I was enjoying. I was enjoying it, especially my girl Casey Lynn was cutting it up. Okay.
And she looked so good.
Yeah, two
Outfit,
thumbs up.
fire. Yeah, everything looked great. So yes, Casey's at this party too, and we'll get to Casey. I just want to wrap up with
Bella.
Arvin, because Arvin was there pre-gaming, which I will say, pre-gaming is so sacred. He should feel so lucky to be invited.
Oh yeah, especially to the girls pregame because
Yeah.
it's different. I feel like the guys pregame is very like we're on a mission, right? We're in here
Yes.
like, oh, everybody take a shot. 5 seconds later, everybody take another shot. But
Yeah.
they seem like they were vibing. They were kind of getting the mood, right? Like, no, we're in there
You have
turning
to
up.
borrow each other's clothes. You have to try on at least 17 outfits. You have to be like, is
Yeah.
this good? Is this like slutty enough, but not too slutty? I will say
Mm-hmm.
this weekend I shared with my family the saying "a hoe never gets cold,"
Because they
and they're
don't.
very much into it now. And they're like, yes, yes, correct.
Mm-hmm. That's the old text. We've been
Yeah,
passing that down for generations.
correct. So it was just like a beautiful, and that's the point of the pregame for me. And then you're like doing each other's hair, like that's the pregame. So Arvin being there, I was like, oh, they must like him.
Yeah, I have sat drunk in like the corner of like someone's living room or den or whatever, or even dorm room, like waiting on the
Yes,
girls to get dressed a billion times.
correct,
Like,
correct.
you're just like, I guess I'll just drink by myself while y'all are doing your thing. And you smell hairspray, you hear
Yes.
music. There's a lot of scrambling back and forth, a lot of dressing up
Oh my
like,
God, yes. And the shoes, the
yeah.
shoes.
Oh, and then like the train of people coming out and being like, "You like these shoes? You like these shoes? You like these? No, no. Okay, you don't like these. You like these? Okay, switch with me. Switch with me. Can you
Yep,
hold this for me?
literally.
Okay, put this in your purse. Put this in your bag, and you just sitting there just drinking
That's
and
where you
watching.
bring the boy. That's when the boy does come into play to
Had
be
a
like,
lot
I
of
need you to
pockets.
hold all of
Had a
this.
lot of pockets. A lot of
Yes,
pockets. You
yes.
got to know who you're dealing with. Man, this is so fun to think about because Arvin was in the mix, and it looked like he was having a good time,
You have
and
the
the pregame went
tequila.
well.
I saw
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
The pregame went well, so well that
Mhm.
Arvin he get a little loose at the party. I was so
Too
proud of my
loose
boy.
because
I,
the shirts was off.
I was so proud of my boy. Ask me, have I been there?
No, I was watching that and I was like, I wonder who all we have seen do this.
Oh, I pulled the Paxton Hall Yoshida one hand, just whoop the shirt off.
It was so funny because he was so excited to get the drink for his girl. Those were the best kind of drunk boys, that they were so just about their girl, but then they would
Mhm.
still act crazy. So they were the
Yeah.
perfect level of safe, but still silly. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Obsessed with Armin, unfortunately, I must say now. And Bella takes care of him, which is big
Mhm.
of Bella, I must say. Growth. Growth.
Yeah. Yeah. Because for a second, it did seem like I was like, take me to the bedroom," and
Yes.
he's like, you're drunk. Cut it
No.
out, kid." Very
Consent.
wise,
It
very
works
very
both ways.
exactly, very wise on Bella's part, and I don't know, man. How can you not root for them after this? This is a beautiful.
But then the sex was apparently too tender because they do end up having sex eventually.
I love Bella so much. She's like
Bella is
the
so relatable, I could cry. That's all I can say. And no one ever shared this with my mom.
Oh man, I have no words. I have no words.
Yeah, I literally was like, I want to say so much, but like it's a podcast. So like no.
But also
Retweet. Oh my god. And because it's a throwaway line that says hopefully he can learn. and we just need to hold on, because I think, because we talked about this last time where you asked me if they're, the end game, and now I can see how they're end game, because I think they might be breaking and then getting back together, just like
Right.
Whitney.
We needed to see some turmoil between the two of
Yes.
them, and we got some coming.
Oof. Should we just talk about it? Let's just finish it.
Let's just talk about
Yes,
it.
because we'll get to the boyfriend test. We know everyone wants to get into it. We will. But they, whatever, they're having sex again, I guess, very excited. And they share numbers, which rookie mistake. Rookie mistake. Lie. Or just say you.
Yeah. The body count conversation is always stupid. Number one, it's always dumb.
Yes, fair.
It's always dumb. The problem here is that, like,
Arvind is at 2.
The problem is that Bella opened herself up to this conversation, right? Like, yes. Arvind, you're the best person I've ever dated. He's like, well, I've only really dated like one person or whatever. And she's like, really? That's it? He's like, yeah, that sounds like a low bar. He's like, okay. Well, what about you? It's like, Bella, I have no words, because she gave this man the ick so fast. I'm talking about, you could see his love's like,
it's over.
You could see his crush on her just leave.
Yes.
And I think it's a very complex conversation, because I think for a long time, people were using the conversation about how many people you've been with, whether it's dated or sexually, and they use it as a way to shame women, right? And to say like, oh, these women are not dateable because they've dated so many people, or they've been around, or whatever the case may be. And that wasn't applied the same logic to men. That said, I also think that there is something to say about people like Casey Lynn, or even like Arvind, who have been very selective about who they are willing to give that part of themselves to. And that they should not be shamed either for having the ability to say like, no, I really think that, there's some value in being more measured with who you're sleeping with. And I think that it's so nuanced, because no, you don't shame Bella for having a lot of sex. But from Arvind's point of view, you also have to look at it as like, he has been particular about who he has sex with. And he would like to believe that the person he's having sex with is also particular about who they are having sex with. So it's so complicated, because I wanted to come in and just be like, this is dumb. You shouldn't have been having a conversation in the first place. But the conversation is very nuanced in a way that, I don't think either person is wrong, but their feelings, Arvind's feelings, are valid as well as Bella's.
Yeah, I think that's where I am, where I understand that, hey, he, has decided to lead his life a certain way. Where I disagree, or where it's a point of contention, even I'll say, is that if you have had sex with one person 20 times and she has sex with 20 people one time, what's the difference?
You're still having a lot of sex.
Yeah. So I just feel like there is some level of purity test, and we didn't get a lot of this, but I'm also interested to know, like, as an Indian man, like, right, are we going to learn more about that piece of it all? Like, oh, you're a good Indian girl, blah, 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 right? Like, whatever, the intersectionality of mess. Will that come up more? I don't know, but
the intersectionality of mess should be the name of our book that we write together.
Actually, yes. Period. It's trademarked by us. No one
back off. Back the hell up.
Yes. But no, it's just, that's where I think I was sitting, where I have definitely been in a situation in college where, like, I was with someone where he had never even dated someone, and I had boyfriends in high school, and he was not so kind about it, but then me being me, I was like, yeah, that's weird, and that's a you thing. Like, if you like me for who I am, part of that is, right, like, that I am outgoing, that I've dated, whatever you want to say, and I think that there's and this is my part 2 of the contention, is that, like, sometimes I feel like people fall in love with the idea of someone, right? Like the idea of a loud girl. You like the idea of a girl that parties a lot, but you don't want the baggage that comes with it.
Right.
And that's where it can get a little bit messy, to where I don't know where this is going to go. And I hope Bella doesn't feel bad about herself, but I also think it's fair for Arvind, like you said, and Casey, to have their convictions. No one's judging you for it, but I think then, like, date someone like Casey. Don't date someone like Bella. That's not fair.
Right. Yeah, and it's tough too because it's like you set yourself up for failure. Like you said, when you want to date the party girl, and then when she tells you I like to party, you're like, what? Why do you want to party so
Yep.
much? It's like Bella, I think, is very transparent to us. I
Correct.
don't know if she's been less transparent with Arvin. Maybe she's doing the thing where you like somebody, so you're trying to keep certain parts of you at bay. You don't want to scare
Mm-hmm.
them off. But as far as I know, Bella's pretty transparent. About her, sexual activity. I mean, I'm sure she's not. No, honestly, I'm not even sure. I was gonna say I'm sure she's not just walking around bragging about having sex with the mascot without having seen his face, but she might be. She actually might be because that's Bella. And so I don't know if it's just that Arvin didn't know what he's getting himself into or what, but ultimately, what happened before you, Arvin, is not any of your business really, unless it's going to be a health concern. If you have like a religious reason why you would be, saving yourself for marriage or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, then of course, or like whatever, personal reasons you have in that concern. But I think that this is not an indictment of Bella in any way. If
Yeah.
anything, this is a you issue. You need, and so it's like either you're okay with this or you're not. But it doesn't say anything negative about Bella, and that needs to be like really, like drove home because he can get the ick from the situation, but not from her. Like that
Yeah.
does not. She is the same Bella that he knew and that he liked. It's just that like maybe for him, he was hoping to be, like very like be with somebody who also was holding sex in such a high regard. Again, not necessarily something that should change his opinion of Bella, but
Mm-hmm.
if that is a line he likes to draw in the sand as far as like his ability to connect with somebody, like I really want it to be more than that. Maybe that's why the sex is so tender. Then I think that that's something he needs to work through and figure out if he can get over it. But Bella is fine. She didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're gonna hopefully these last two episodes dig more into is like how do they both come to like share the reality of who they both are while still trying to make this relationship work, and that's being an adult, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because no one's ever gonna be perfect, and if they are, they're a serial killer because no one is perfect.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, okay, Arvin, let's say Bella said she had sex with one person. Nothing about her just changed. Nothing about her just changed. She's still Bella. She's still crazy. She's still boy crazy.
Hmm.
Like, is she going to be there for you or not? And if she's not going to be there for you or, monogamous to you, if that's what you're looking for, then that's when you start to break up. But again, things that happened prior to her, it's not really any of your business. I just think that it's okay for him to be the initial shock to be uncomfortable for him, but he needs to work through that and figure out, okay, am I able to move on? And like, how do I fix my issue as opposed to
Correct.
looking at her as she is the problem? Because she's not.
Yep. Yeah, and that's where I'm hoping that like this is just like that one awkward night and then
Mm-hmm.
they come back together, or maybe he does need his time and then they get back together season 4.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
if not, get out of here, Armin. We didn't like you anyway, stupid. Oh.
Right. But he did pass the boyfriend test, and we will talk about it
Yes.
later on. We will
I
talk about
know.
it
I was
later
like, I
on.
think we should pack the boyfriend test together, right? Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just
We'll
so fun.
we'll do it later on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then let's quickly get to Casey because hers wasn't too long either. Where Casey wants to be part of Essex 50 most, which is like the 50 hottest people. Did your campus have anything like this?
No, but our campus was very messy. So it's kind of like those lists
Ooh,
probably were out there somewhere, and it's just like they weren't published by the campus. But I think even with this being published by a campus publication, there's ways you get around with, right? Because they call it 50
yes.
most. They don't say 50 hottest, they just say 50 most. And they might say, like, oh, these are the most achievable, achievement based students. Like, they'll figure out a way of coding it, like the biggest social players on campus or the 50 people you got to meet before you graduate. But everybody knows it's a hotness contest deep down. And this is Casey Lynn's alley because she is a pageant girl. She's like, I'm used to ranking and judging and being judged. I'm trying to get on this
Mhm.
list. And she does everything it takes to get on the list. Casey Lynn, she creeping up in my rankings as well. I kind
Yeah, this
of
is
like
when
her a
I
lot,
said, okay,
man.
I'm with her now.
Yeah, I like her, man. She's good. I like Casey Lynn. I'm glad they added her to the cast.
And I think she's so, again, the way they've written her, which I did say from the start, but her lines are just so good because she's like, yeah, I'm a transfer student, but I don't want to miss out on a vote because a random doesn't know me. You the random.
Right. But you're like, but nah, but I'm also hot. So if you don't know
Yes.
me, the problem is you. I was like, Casey Lynn, I kind of,
It's like correct. Say it
she's kind
again.
of eating. Yeah.
So good. And then and she also talks about, right, like, oh, I won Miss North Dakota and I didn't even go step into
Right.
the state.
Ambitious.
Full on PR campaign,
Mm-hmm.
which at the time that we're recording this is very topical because Mr. One Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively's whole "It Ends With Us" drama is all PR based, and turns out that it was all little bots here and there talking about Blake Lively allegedly. Who knows? Check out Mess Magnets, you'll know more. But either way, it's very funny because this is something that folks, it's happened to Meghan Markle, all of this, where you can quickly change how us sheeple think by forcing the media and the online conversation a certain way.
Yeah. And so she's got a couple of things that she has to deal with here because of course she wants to be on this list.
Yes.
Because she needs the validation and also because this is the type of list she needs to be on.
Yeah.
But
And she needs to win the breakup.
right, and she needs to win the breakup, but she's thumbing through the page of this book, and I mean, she's like, Ugo, legacy, no, that, and then she finds on the last page. This I screamed, I scrumped. Calvin has made the list. What are we doing here?
Oof. I couldn't breathe. I said nepotism. You know
Nepotism.
when Ned Fulmer, right, from the Try Guys, they did the SNL skit mocking the Try Guys instead of him, and then allegedly it came out that he knows someone that's a writer on SNL, and
Oh,
that's why that's what this was giving.
it's giving Calvin slept his way to the middle, you
Yeah,
know,
to
because
the
he's been,
end because he was
yeah,
50th.
he's been cheating so much to where like, okay, the woman threw him a bone, you know, like, it's fine. I guess I'll add you to the list here. Damn, you number
Since you
15, put you in the
cheated
back.
with me.
Right, exactly. Boo, this man. I felt really bad for Casey Lynn because it hurts to lose a breakup. It really does. And I felt her soul leave her body when she's like, damn, am I really the one who got, like, I moved across the country. This man's on the hottest, like, eligible bachelor list. Am I the drama? Am I the problem here? But my boy Arvid, he said, your scars are what make you beautiful. I was
Pain.
like, look at this man. He's
But
just,
not when it's his girl.
right. Like those are different. Those are not scars. He's like, I need to talk about those scars. But look, I wrote that one down. Your scars are what makes you beautiful. So I will
Oh
be,
no.
yeah, I will be using that later on this week.
Girls, if he ever says this to you,
Oh
get
no, if
him.
they're listening to this, they're not an option. They better
Actually,
not.
that's fair.
Yeah. Trust me. If you've heard too much, if you've heard me on a podcast.
Oh my God. Especially these kind of horrible ones. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We're so messy. Yeah, listen, my husband doesn't listen to this either, because imagine. No way. So either way, it's just that's where we'll leave it, where Cooper does help her get on the list though.
Yeah.
And it's very sweet because he just like she was doing the PR, he goes online, finds some misogynistic tweets, gets someone kicked off, and bam, Casey's in.
I hope he got Calvin kicked off specifically. You know,
That's what I was hoping, but I rewinded it and I don't think he said
they didn't
Calvin.
say, but I'm like, I'm hoping that if anybody got kicked off, it's him.
It needs to be cheating ass Calvin.
What did you think about the conversation between Cooper and Casey Lindo when he's telling her, you know, like, don't worry about being on the list, and she's like, I can't let it go. He's like, please, you don't have to worry about being on the list, and she tells him that he's probably been, you know, tall and athletic and a boy and smart, you know, and all this stuff, but he does, like, she doesn't necessarily get the same treatment that he would get. I thought that was very interesting because I don't think I've ever seen that come up on the show.
Yeah, it's like, it reminds me of the Barbie monologue, right, of America Ferrera that went viral. But it's just, yeah, I think it's very much true that he gets to live, and in that comes some privilege of like not caring about how you look, or not caring about whatever. Like sometimes even when we're about to get on a podcast, right, like the women might have to spend 10 minutes more, 15 minutes more, right, putting on makeup, whereas then, you know, the person who doesn't want to put on makeup, I don't want to gender it actually, but whoever wants to put on makeup has to take more time because of whatever reason, internalized or not. I've definitely seen comments about me talking about looks. So it happens. And it's unfortunate. Yeah. It was so matter of fact that I didn't even like think to include it, even though it's such an important conversation.
Yeah, I had never seen it on TV where
Yeah.
someone basically just said like, I understand that you keep telling me like I'm worth it, I'm desirable, I don't need this for validation, but sometimes although she doesn't need it for validation, she will get scrutinized for the very same thing, right? She might
Hmm.
not get validation for it, but she'll get penalized for it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she's
That's a
like,
really great
I
way.
don't get to just walk around just normal. I remember when during COVID, that was a
Yeah.
big conversation about the amount of time it took people to get ready for, Zoom calls and this, that, and other. It's like, okay, when it was COVID, yeah, okay, work's gonna start at 8:30 because it takes everybody time to get from home to work. But then, oh, we're not going home, we're not going to the office anymore. So
Hmm.
now 8 o'clock sharp, 8:15, I want you on a Zoom call. It's like, wait, what happened to my other 30, 15 minutes? That's part of my prep to get on here. And so, they're like camera on. I turned on the camera. I woke up like this, flawless, like Beyonce. But
Yep.
some people need to, prep themselves to get on camera, and it's not fair. To have like these moments where it's like you want everybody to have the same level of like, so everybody should show up the same. But if I'm in a job that's not front facing normally, I don't have to be in people's face. People don't have to look at
Yes.
me. Now I have to see me on camera. I might want to do something with myself. So yeah, I thought that was such an interesting conversation. And I'm happy they were able to bounce back from it. But I felt bad because I feel like, Casey Lynn she kind of comes off as somebody who is like so image driven that it's like
Hmm.
it's almost easy. It's easy to dismiss what she's saying. It's just like you're just paranoid because you're not like people aren't finding you hot. And she's like, it's more than just being found hot. It's yeah, that my appearance will be held against me, and I need this to like I need this list almost to show that like that's one thing you cannot have against me, right? I am hot, I am desirable, and despite whatever Calvin did while he was cheating, that doesn't affect who I am and my self-worth, because later on we'll see her even asking, I don't even know why he broke up with me. Like I don't even know why he cheated. Like I have
Yeah.
no clue. And I thought that was interesting as well.
Agreed. I think there's a way to be like, yeah, I'm above it all, and I think it's easier said than done. In
Mhm.
that technically, yeah, I could get on a podcast and put on whatever, but do I want that? No. It's just there's a lot of bit of socialization, but
Mhm.
also like you said, you don't want to like be penalized. You don't want to hear the comments, whatever that may be. You want to be neutral on people's looks, not even and anything like positive or negative. You just want to like talk about the other stuff. But Casey has been a judge for her looks her whole life. She's a pageant girl, so
Mhm.
that is part of who she is. We just saw how her mom, right, like, also, so implicitly explicitly talks about her looks constantly. So I just feel like when it's ingrained in you, it's easy to wanna break away. But we see her face tuning her photo,
Yeah.
and we see her really like breathing into, and even though she doesn't want to and she knows better and she's smart enough, she's still doing it. So and that's the life we have.
Yeah, it was interesting. It's like I don't think Cooper did anything wrong, except
Hmm.
he didn't know that side of the conversation existed. Where he's always like, no, no, you're good enough. You're good enough. She's like, yeah, I don't need you to tell me that. Like, I know I'm good enough. I need other people to know I'm good enough without me having to explain it, without them having to know me. I need them to be able to look at me and can tell that not only am I good enough, I'm exceptional. And it was just something that he never even thought, that her self-worth would be tied to her image, but it's all a part of her. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is your self-worth ultimately tied to your image? No. But for a lot of women, it is a detractor if it's not, So yeah, that was incredible. I thought that was such smart writing for sure.
Yeah, and I think there was just a such it was done so quickly
Mhm.
but impactfully, because then
Yeah.
Cooper was like, "Oh yeah, let me like help her out instead of like give offering her solutions, let me fix the problem," which
Yeah.
I thought was very funny because yeah, I think men a lot of times will try to offer you like basic ass solutions, like you
Right.
couldn't just think through all of them already.
Right. Like, no, you're pretty. It's
Like, duh, I'm pretty. That's not the point.
right, exactly. I want to win. And it's like, all right, cool.
Mhm.
Well, go win, And so
Yes.
hey, she got on the list, man. She did it. I'm sorry, Casey Lynn. She one of them ones. I like that. I like that. She went and got what she wanted done. I know I've said this before, but it really does feel like this is also something that could have been really Layden coded. If we still
Mhm.
had Layden, I think this would have been a right up Layden's alley to be like, no, I am hot. I am hot, and y'all are going to recognize it. And if you don't, who the hell are you? You know what I'm saying? And so I love this. I love this so much from her.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. And again, it's just we're still getting the like subtle moments of her figuring out her body image issues and all of that, but it's not necessarily so in your face that it's like getting preachy and almost like child sitcom like, right? If it
Mhm.
does get preachy, like your body is beautiful, duh. But that's not the
No.
point. The point is
Right.
like you're still gonna deal with whatever it is internally, and
Mhm.
that you can't turn off.
Yeah.
And then do we want to go quickly to the other girls because they don't have much at all?
Well, I do have some things to say
Yes.
about Whitney when we get there, but
Yep.
let's talk about Kimberly because
Let's do it.
she almost has almost no storyline. Even like her
None.
her storyline about going on this tour. It's like, okay, we meet Brian, who is from the class she has with Dr. Dr. Friedman, Professor Friedman, or whatever. Tig Notaro, I forgot to point that out, playing Dr. Friedman here.
Yes, yes, you're
Yeah,
right. Hmm.
but she's taking the Essex tour. And apparently her and Brian are just they match each other's freak. I don't know what to say.
Actually, that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with them. They finish each other's sandwiches, right? Like it's very much love at first sight.
And they do like just some fun, cute stuff, but it never really gets like that deep between the two of them. Even though it looks like him and Kimberly have now linked up and the two freaks have matched each other, and this is gonna be good for her. Now, I could see this as an end game for Kimberly.
Again, I hope so.
Mhm.
Right? Like this is where you're just like praying that that's true, because this is someone again that like gets it and is
Mhm.
just as smart as her, but seems like almost like freaky enough too. Because listen, she needs the aftershocks. Let's
Oh yeah.
never forget.
Yeah. Now we keep talking about end games, and I wondered even is it like we're
I
talking
know
about end
it's like
game as
we
far
called
as
it. It's
right, but we're talking about end games as far as the show, right?
yes.
I think that if you're listening to this and you're in college, first of all, if you're listening to this in your college, don't do follow your instincts. Don't do as we say, because a lot of we will lead you down a toxic path. Some of the rules matter. Some of the rules matter. Just take into consideration what Uncle and Auntie said. Okay, now I
Listen,
think that
we our scars make us beautiful, and we've
right.
had many of them.
Right. So, take what we say in consideration, but still make your own moves, and then follow up and let us know if you made some mistakes. Now,
Please.
I think that it's sophomore year. You don't have to be looking for end game in life. I think we're just talking about end game for the show. Sophomore year, if you're looking
Yeah.
for your husband, that congratulations to you. But I would never recommend that. The doctor would never say to do something like that sophomore year in
Have you
college.
ever heard of the MRS degree?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what this is giving.
Ring before spring. Like we are not trying to get these people married off. We're just saying like if the show is going to end one day, could we see them together as a couple? And I think Kimberly and Brian could be a thing.
And I don't want that basic, she loves herself. Okay, and
Yeah. Yeah. Himberly is what
yeah,
is what Leela calls it.
Leela is truly when can we be friends?
Yeah, she's the best.
Kimberly and Himberly. And then they're like, oh, are we alike? Oh, like shut up.
You knew.
You're looking in a mirror.
Right. But to Whitney.
Ooh,
Sasha.
I was ready for this one because city girls are up, baby.
Are they? I have questions. I just got some questions, but go ahead.
Yes. So listen, Whitney quickly she gets a little bit of academia as well, where we first hear that her lab got defunded, but then all of a sudden they did get money from a telecom billionaire. And listen, I didn't even need billionaire, and I didn't even need to hear the rest. I knew that it was Isaiah's money has come in.
it hit me over the head like a brick. I had no clue. I was like, oh,
Oh,
like why? Oh, because I was very interested to see. Oh, I think we know what her major is. Is she going into like marine biology or something? Because a fish
yeah.
lab is interesting. I didn't see that for her, so I was so focused on that and thinking,
Fair,
damn, she didn't get
fair.
her research to where when it came in, I said, oh, that's great. So when I found out it was Isaiah's dad, I said, oh, and then of course me being slow, I was like, oh, what's Isaiah gonna do when he finds out? And I was like, oh wait, he's the problem. He did it.
Yep. And it's not only it's $200,000, which that's crazy to
That's
just like give.
to just give. And I think for him being a billionaire's child, $200,000 is a drop in the bucket. Like that's nothing.
I know.
But
And
like
it's probably a
anybody,
tax write-off, right? Like somehow, some way.
exactly. I know, like a charitable contribution, whatever. Like it's not 200,000 straight up, right?
Hmm.
However, what did you think about the reaction to this? Because Kimberly is happy, but
Whitney,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whitney is happy, but not.
Hmm.
She's not exactly loving the gesture.
Here's the thing, okay, for me, because I feel like I sometimes get caught up in this, right? Like I'm independent, I don't need no help, da 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 da. But sometimes you do.
Mm-hmm.
And a professor actually says it where he's like, oh, I need more students like you with, networks. And he says it as a throwaway joke. But I think that we should never feel embarrassed to use our network to help
Mm-hmm.
us. I don't know that she asked Isaiah for money, right? Like she probably just shared that this happened and he
Mm-hmm.
donated. I think it's fair to tell him that I would have loved a conversation. I don't need you necessarily bail me out, but I think it's okay sometimes to let people help us, strong girls. It just, I feel like there is this like armor that strong girls put on that they just, that hurts us in the long run. Cause then
Mm-hmm.
people see you as so independent that they don't want to help you with anything. Don't go down that road.
Yeah.
If you're in college, this is the one thing I will tell you. Let people help you. It's okay.
Especially, yeah. And it feels like Whitney's thing is like, I don't want you to feel like this massive gift that you gave
Yes.
is going to it should affect the way that I am treating you and you are treating me, or vice versa, right? Like I don't want you to hold this over my head. Like my father gave you $200,000
Hmm.
and you have the nerve. It's like, hey, this is not what that is. And I think he had the best response. Just like, my dad gives money to whoever he wants to give money to. I mentioned it to him. He didn't have to give the money. He gave the money to the school, not you. And it's okay. Let him give whatever he wants to whoever he wants. I won't hold it against you regardless. Like that is not a thing that happened between me and you. It's just something that I thought my dad would be interested in doing and he did it. Like
Yep.
we're turning down help is not going to get you a gold star, especially if it's, a billionaire giving $200,000. Like you'll be okay. But I thought her concerns about whether or not this would be taken the wrong way were valid.
Yeah.
But at some point, I guess it takes Kanan to say it before it starts to make sense to her.
When she was at the party and says it out loud to Canaan,
She's done.
that when Isaiah says it, that's what Isaiah said. But when you say it, it makes more sense. End the relation. Dead it. It's over. You're never coming back.
Yeah, because this is when the city boys are up. Because see, here's the thing.
They're neutral because one's losing, one winning.
Look, the city boys is up because first of all, Whitney wasn't acting right when they was in a relationship the first time. And he's like, "Hey, bro, you tripping? Come back when you're ready." She went out. She played with the other boys for a little bit. Okay, she played the field. They got money, whatever, but they ain't me. I even kissed her roommate, and here she is still
That was
got me peeling,
crazy.
and she got me peeling oranges for her because she know I'm the one. I've been the one. End game it. End it now, Sasha. She's whipped. This is the one. This is our one true pair, baby. We have it. It's back.
Oh my God. I couldn't believe how fast it happened.
Yeah.
Like I was like, we just talked about how, oh, he's probably the end game. And all of a sudden, she's making out with him. And he has
Now,
no shame. Look at him. He said,
I mean,
okay.
he's single. He's not the one cheating.
So is she. She edits Isaiah's hinge pictures, remember?
Oh yeah, no, I think that was that. I don't know because that was like the last episode. This episode, she says the guy I was dating, gave his.
Fair.
So I was like, so which one is it? Are y'all together?
Don't
Like
get caught up, girls.
define the relationship, so I could be like, look at this woman down bad for this beautiful black man. He's so successful. Look
Which
at her.
one?
She's whipped. Well, look, apparently both. Now
Exactly.
I thought, because after that she does tell like Kanan, like, I need to talk to Isaiah. And I thought she was going to talk to him about the donation, right? But then,
Oh.
but then I thought, okay, maybe she's talking to like, okay, I've talked to Kanan. Kanan made me feel away. I'm realizing at the party that I really like Kanan. I'm texting Isaiah now to shut this down, right? Me and Isaiah are done. I'm moving on. But when they
Mhm.
both show up for the boyfriend test, I said, ha, she didn't even
That
break up
is
with this man.
diabolical, and I loved it. I said,
Mm-mm.
because that is some shit I would do, I think.
I'm Casey Lynn. Wow, you really just cheating on this man in broad daylight? That's
Yeah, unfortunately, that
crazy.
is you.
Yeah, what? Because she is cheating on this man in broad daylight. Now, I am assigning that to her as this character on the show because I'm being messy. But make no mistake, I have a friend currently, because no one will ever hear this, but I have a friend currently who her sister is outside. She got outside right now. She got a boyfriend, but we ain't really like him too much, and so
Honestly, we love that for her.
she seemed like she about to make a move and maybe have a moment of infidelity in their relationship. And her sister is mortified. Her sister's like, she can't act like this, that, and the other. And I'm texting back like, let her try, let her have a life. You know what I'm saying? She all right, she young, so I would love to say
She's
that,
not hurting anyone, technically.
except him when he finds out, but whatever.
But he doesn't need to know.
He doesn't know now, right? So on
Just
the one
no.
hand, although I am judging Whitney in this moment and being like, you should not be cheating on this man, just break up with him. You don't have to live like this. On the other hand, results vary. It depends on the situation. It's very situational how I feel about this thing. So yeah,
Oh my God.
I think the City Boys is back up, man. I think Kanan had to show her like, you missed me when I was gone, and now look at you, you're coming back.
Unfortunately, Kanan has glowed up in a way that I would want to conquer and date.
You're like, oh no, he can.
And I
Yeah,
hate that for me.
it's okay. Look, okay, this is
Because you'd
college.
be
This is
like,
the
wait,
time to
what
do this.
happened over the summer? That
Right,
you
right,
grew a spine? That's wild.
right. He grew a spine. Yeah, look, people like spines.
But we also like billionaires. So what are we doing here?
What are you doing now? That's a
I
good
think
question.
she should date both.
I think she's insane if she thinks that's possible. I think she will end up with neither one of them.
Oh.
No disrespect to Kanan. That's my boy. Comma, but that is a billionaire. Whitney, I don't know how
Whitney got her own money.
she do, but billionaire money is different money. Like, billionaire money is different money. Have some fun.
Generational.
Right, like, have some
Money.
fun. Do some things that you don't even have to think about financially now that you can, and then maybe break up later on. I'm not saying use somebody, but just enjoy your time with them while you can. That's what I'm saying.
But here's the thing. Our boy Kanan is an economy major or economics.
Economic, yeah.
That means that he could become a billionaire.
Yeah, but becoming a billionaire is not easy. You know what I'm saying?
But that's where you could do the ride or die little thing.
I've been here since day one.
That would be so fun, I feel.
Yeah. And now we have to discuss what it looks like when you put these people up against each other, because
it's so good.
we got the boyfriend test in episode 2, or was it? What was it? Was it called the boyfriend test?
Yeah. The good partner test.
Good partner test.
Yes. And when I think this has to be one of my favorite moments in TV.
It's good. It's really good. Yeah.
Because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, just
but also
dumb.
It's ridiculous, but at the same time, there are things to learn from this. I think you're looking for a partner who is going to be selfless and honest and loyal, and that's the things they're looking for. They're just doing them in the form of this ridiculous ass test that is very transparent to some, and then also not transparent at all to others.
And it's the way, like, I have definitely done this to my friends, to be like, okay, this is who I'm thinking of dating, so let's like figure it out. We invite him to the pregame. everyone gets involved and get excited. The thing is, unfortunately, I am the friend that susses everything out a little too early,
Mm,
and my friends are not ready to hear what I have to say about their future man. But
yeah,
I'm almost always right, unfortunately.
I
Oh
like to
well.
see the data.
Yeah. And then whoever I don't like, I feel like eventually everyone else comes around to be like, oh,
That's real. That's real.
that's what,
Um,
yeah. I like,
I
I
would,
don't think I missed like that.
yeah, but Sasha Auntie is a thing though. The matchmaker. Oh
Yes.
yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh,
Uh,
I will never lie. That is
yeah.
very much true. But either way, I just find this to be so funny, and I love it. I love it. I love it. So, in our friend group's good partner test was, will is he willing to be the DD on a
Oh,
night out?
yeah. See, and that's the thing that like I was known for. That's the crazy thing. Like when I first got to college, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be like. I was
I
like,
mean, same,
I was like,
unfortunately.
I can't drink like y'all because I was like, I have some powerful drinkers in my family, and I know once I start, it's gonna be hard to get me to stop. So I'm gonna be like on it. I'm gonna be the designated driver. So for the first couple of years, I really had a reputation for like, no, you can count on Chappelle. He'll be all right. Now, once I decided to like, okay, let's dip the toe into the liquor a little bit. I dove all the way in swimming pools. Kendrick Lamar, that was me.
Yeah,
And so yeah, pull up, Drake. Sit down, Drake.
headshot, drink. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, pass out, Drake. That was me. So there would be a time where I was not going to pass that version of the good partner test. Designated driver, who me? No, no, thank you. I'll
Fair.
walk.
That's fair. I think, yeah, for I also was always a designated driver, so it's very funny for my friends now if they like see me even with one drink, they're like, "What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You're alcoholic." And I was like, "No, it's like the one drink that I'm not even gonna finish." But it's very funny because we'll start with Arvin, who we knew would pass it, like duh. And of course, immediately we get the, "Could you please peel this orange for me?" And he said, "How would you like it?" And
How do
he
you want-
cuts it in the shape of a dolphin because that's Bella's favorite animal.
Yeah.
A lover
She,
boy, for real.
She wanted to know if he was honest and he had brute strength. And so I think the orange proved that the man he could rip that orange out the peel, Bella. Okay, don't forget.
And delicately, and that's hot. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Like it was precise. Okay, it was precision there. That said, the honesty question, huh? How do I look in this ugly ass hat? And he lied.
How do
He was
you get out of this? The people need to know.
well, you know me, I'm a clown. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
because I'm a clown, I make the medicine go down a lot better. I'm kind of like,
Mm.
oh, that's a cool hat. I don't know if I would see that on you, but okay, it's kind of like you got to get them to come with you on the comedy journey of what we're seeing. Now, sometimes people don't pick it up, and you do have to like kind of pull us aside, like, "Hey, bro, I wasn't joking. That hat is ugly. It's hideous." But again, the delivery matters. But everybody can't pull that off. Everybody cannot do the "Hey, I'm just a funny guy. We're laughing at this together." Some people don't have that speed, and I just don't know what he should have done in this moment because I think I think what you say is that um I don't love the hat on you. You're way prettier than that hat. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need that hat. That
That's
hat that hat doesn't
good.
yeah, like
That's
that
good.
hat doesn't do you any justice. Like I really feel like there's a better hat for you. And you're like, "No, I really like it." It's like, "Yeah, I know, but like just from the outside looking in, like I just feel like it detracts from your face, and your whole energy. Like I just think it's a lot and you don't need that. You're a classic beauty. There's a way you get around that."
No, that would be getting. Okay, leave. No, yeah, Karthik does the whole like, "You've just had better outfits than this."
Oh
And that's
yes,
when I need
Karthik's
to know,
king.
oh,
Yeah.
I see what he's putting
All right.
down, and I'll let it go, and I will change.
That's his version of like, you thought you ate that and you didn't. It's like, it's like
Meanwhile, I'm just like, "That looks ugly, change." And he's like,
right.
"Damn."
Yeah.
But he's very kind. Yeah. I think that the added layer of her friends watching is what makes it hard. Because I
Yeah.
don't know what he would have said if it was just them two versus when your friends are around. Then you really have to say all the right things.
Kimberly liking the hat was enough. Okay. When Kimberly said the hat was good, I'm
True.
like, take it off. Take it off immediately. Stop it. Shut it down.
Just embarrassing. And of course, outside of the hat test, feels like he passes. They're
Hmm.
very excited. I felt like we would get a little bit more brute strength from him. Like he would have to move the couch.
Oh yeah.
That's what I feel like we should have seen.
I've gotten the call to come kill the bug. Like, oh,
Ooh,
there's a
yeah.
bug, and like, would you walk over here in the middle of the night to kill the spider? Here I come. Like, all right, I
Yep.
got you. And I've definitely gotten there, and it's like 5 women sitting on the couch, like, okay, it's over there. It's like, so you mean to tell me that you 5 grown ass women just could not figure out a way to get this tiny spider out of
I'm
this
just a
corner?
girl.
Yeah, I'm just a girl. Like, no, you just wanted to see if I would walk over here in the middle of the night.
I mean, you're
and
not lying.
and on the way home, I'm like, they got me. Like,
Shoot.
yeah,
I
like, all
wore
right.
the ugly hat.
Right. I'm like, you won this time, but next time I'm gonna be paying attention.
That part. Oh my gosh. So that's Arvind. Then we get Cooper. And Casey very much only wants someone that's loyal, trustworthy, and gets along with her grandma, basically. And then the orange test starts. And he murders the orange.
He doesn't know how to peel an orange. I don't think that should be, like marks against him, right? He still peeled the
Yeah.
orange. It just wasn't nice.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's the how. Arvin gets extra credit for what the heck he did
Style
and
points.
for remembering her favorite animal.
Yeah.
That's the extra credit.
Uh-huh.
But I just feel like we should have dead it because that orange is dead.
The orange is dead. But I think that's the energy Bella was talking about. She was looking for just like a little primal, some feral energy. That's like, I ripped the orange in half. It's like, all right, okay.
Should have had him move a couch. That's all I'm saying. But of course, he says we learned that. But I quit Eagle Scouts, and then the stock goes down. But then it comes back up because he was supporting queer rights because his friends got kicked out. Yeah. And I love, again, this is where Casey's line delivery so good because Casey goes, what? Add that for the point for the girl for the people that were doing the
Yeah.
And she just dragged Kimberly. I said, that's so good. Yeah, so funny and so subtle. Yeah. And then we get the cold.
The coaster test. Yeah. This was good. This was really good.
This was good. Because this is very like Southern. I feel like where you need to learn like manners and you need to know how they eat. I think that is so real. I've definitely been in positions where people are like, this is just not how we do it. And you're just like, damn, what the hell? Yeah. So I enjoyed it. I'm sorry to say. And it was a Rosa Parks. There were all these like strategically placed things that the women or society loves. So he said, I'm just gonna be a grown-up and hold glass while I get hypothermia.
Yeah, she's looking for manners, and I think had he put the glass down on the table or whatever, it would have been a minor deduction. Had he put the glass down on one of her items, it would have been a major deduction. So it's like, just hold the glass and try not to be rude. You want to leave a space the same or better than you when you entered. And I think there's no winning when you put that glass down on the desk with all that condensation. So cool. This was so player. You could tell she's been doing this for a while, which is crazy because she only had one boyfriend. So she's been running this test for other people.
Oh my God. It's wild. I don't know how else to say it. But I love it. And Casey is obsessed.
What about this Mari sexy decoy test that she brings in? Like, this woman comes in like, oh, I'm soaking wet. Oh my God. I said, now this is diabolical. This is entrapment.
This was so smart. I couldn't breathe. I said, why didn't I ever do this?
Why didn't you go find a random woman to come in wet?
Random smart hot girl? Because let's not forget, she said, can I go back to my dissertation? So you smart and hot.
Yeah, doctoral student stopping what she's doing to come be wet in your dorm. How much should they pay her?
Honestly, I love. Yeah. I love it. It's so hot. And Cooper does the right thing. He said, actually, I'm just going to give you your privacy and leave. What are you doing?
Immediately leave.
You're leaving the whole dorm, I think.
Right. I'm like, all right, bye. I could there no good can come from this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know you. You don't know me. And you're like, I'm about to get undressed in front of you. Like, all right, lady, something's wrong with you. Why are you getting dressed in front of strangers?
Why are you anyway? Wet?
Right. Why? I know you didn't come here like, I just ran through the sprinklers. Oh my God. All right. Like, this is either clearly a setup or also this person is insane, because you should not feel that comfortable around anybody you don't know to be like, I'm just gonna strip right here. It's like, all right, you have it. If nothing else, I am from the South. I'm gonna get out the way.
Yeah, and he just goes into her room, which I think is fair.
Mhm.
I've definitely been in moments where, again, during the pregame, right, when girls sometimes change and then you forget that the boy is around, and you're like,
Yeah.
"Oops." I've definitely had the boys like turn around or whatever. So yes, it
Mhm.
unknowingly has become part of the test, but it happens. And Cooper said, "I'm a good guy.
Yeah. He's a
All
good guy.
right, I'm good."
He's
And
good.
the fact that they had surveillance on him, I couldn't get over.
Again, that's a lot. This is a lot. This is borderline crazy. I know you did not send a sexy decoy in for this, but whatever, it worked.
So
So here we
good.
are.
So good. And now let's talk about Whitney's number one suitor and then the number two.
Well,
Because
don't you want to get
yes.
Brian out of the way? Because there's a lot left
Oh
to
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah.
Um,
Let's do
Kim,
Brian.
yeah, Kimberly's suitor Brian. He comes in and he immediately is like, "This feels like a test." And I will say this: the way they presented to him really did feel like a test because he comes in,
Hmm.
they're sitting on the like they're sitting like a panel discussion. Like, all right, come on in. All right, we have your headshot, we have your resume. Okay, first, peel the orange. You're like, is this a test to see if I can peel the orange or if I will peel the orange? Because make no mistake, and that man ripped that orange right out the peel.
And again, I feel like Bella did it the best, right? Where she's like, Arvin, I kind of want an orange. And would
Yeah,
you and he's puppy dog, so he did. But everyone else was just so on the nose with it, I couldn't breathe.
yeah. But Brian loves a good test because he's basically Himberly. And so he's
Yes.
like, all right, quiz me. Let's go. He peels the orange with such quickness and skill. Like I said, okay, that man might be a serial killer too. Because why can you do your hands like that so quickly? So like I was talking about my dexterity, but I'm like somewhere in between the Brian level and the Arvin level, but I am not Brian's skill level. I'm telling you, that orange just jumped out the peel.
Yeah, I
He
will
got what it
say
takes,
that
ladies.
is a Karthik special, my husband. Yeah, where I have decided now, and it really like I think he low key likes it, but he jokes that it makes him mad. Then I'm like, he's like, "Did you eat fruits today?" And I was like, "No, no one peeled it for me." And they were
Yeah.
like, "Oh," and then I get individually like ripped grapes,
Not peeling grapes. He's feeling like
and
the
then
skin off a raisin.
individual grapes that
Yeah.
he's washed every single one.
Yeah.
Period. Okay. Because I said, oh, I can't eat fruits. I can't peel
Mhm.
them. So it happens and it's hot. Okay. It is what it is. And then you marry them. It works. But what I loved about Brian is he said, are you quizzing me on the speed or that if I would do it? Because
Right.
I won both.
Because I want to win. Yeah, he's like, I want to pass the test. So yeah, he really was impressive. But
And that's who I'm marrying. Let's
he
be clear.
did fire the question back though. He said, I think one of the questions they said was, what is the worst thing one of your exes will say about you? And he was like, I don't know. I don't really have any exes. Like, what about you?
Yeah, it was
And
no, it was a great answer, I will say. And I feel like we should use that in our if we're ever, God forbid, on interviews. Because he said it would be an exaggeration of the small truth.
right, like yeah, like
I
something
said, let
that
me write that
exists.
down.
Yeah, something that exists, but because we ended, it is valid for them to maybe have like start
Yes.
to maybe look at me in a negative light, despite of that. So it's like I'm sure they're not gonna outright lie, but I'm sure it's not as bad as it sounds because I didn't do anything that bad. Like don't worry. And I
Hmm.
was like, bet that's a response.
I said,
Uh,
we need to write that down. That's a good
right,
toxic response.
it really was. But Casey Lynn is like, I don't know what my ex would say about me, and I started to think I have to ask Sasha. Sasha, what would your ex say about you? Pick an ex.
Woo.
The
I
worst
it would
thing
not
about
be
you.
good.
Oh,
No, I think they would just say that like I'm very stubborn and a know-it-all and be which might have led to them feeling demeaned.
and that's okay. And we've moved on.
And what
We've
would
had
it be
growth.
for you? Because you are not getting out of this.
I mean, it's probably just some type of exaggeration of the truth.
Shut the
I, I, the worst thing that an ex would say about me is that I get bored easily,
because
and
that's
you
what I
can
would say for you. Yes.
take that however you would like. I get bored
That's a
easily.
good answer. Good answer.
Yeah,
Good
I
answer.
am, or he is easily spooked. Uh,
Fair.
like the fight or flight is strong with him, and he does not like a fight.
Yes, fair.
He's-
Yeah, mine would be the exact opposite. She makes us fight for it too much.
whereas
Can,
they
can
like
she text good morning once first?
it's like it's
No.
done. It's over. It's over. Whereas I'm kind of like, we talked about this once. I'm gone. So like, hey man, why you texting me? I thought we was done. Like, what? How
Real
did that happen?
soldiers that had
Uh
to put up with you.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, they could. I would love to reach out and talk to them, but then I'd have to unblock them and add to like another thing. So anyway,
Email him, girlies. Don't
yeah.
worry. He has one way he hasn't blocked you, I'm sure.
Uh, I, maybe. So yeah, they slide through the cracks every now and then. That's not the point. Casey Lynn goes and talks to Calvin because she's like, I actually don't
Mhm.
know what he would say because he cheated on me. I
Yes.
dumped him, and then that was the end. And I don't even know why he cheated. How did you feel about her going to Calvin asking about this?
I think it makes sense. I understand closure if it's, you've been together for this long, you uprooted your whole life for someone,
Mm-hmm.
and then you move on. I think that is a fair ask. She wasn't like even rude. I feel like they didn't end, right? It was just that she stormed out and then he was like, "Phew, I didn't have to do it." I feel
Mm-hmm.
like it was more like that than anything else. So it was really frustrating to listen to, but I'm appreciate like I think that she should now did it and not change too much, which we'll get into, but I
Well,
don't want her to go the Bella way.
right, because his answer was, um, because I didn't want to, not have sex in college, basically, right? Like I wanted to
Mhm.
have sex with someone, you weren't willing to do it, and you weren't here, so I went ahead and just had sex. He should have just called and broke up with her or whatever, and FaceTime, Zoom, whatever they were doing to interact with each other anyway. Before he did that, probably, our toxic advice would have been you shouldn't have come to college in a relationship anyway. Uh, like I'm pretty sure me and you both speak to the same of that. Like, hey, you should
Yep.
have left that at home anyway. But he was very honest. It seems like in his interaction, like it's nothing you did. It's just it was something you didn't want to do, and I wanted to do it. And it hurts me to watch her kind of like question her own, like her own principles or self worth or whatever in that moment. Because she's like, all right, well, if that's the case, should I be getting ready to do it? And
Mhm.
we just watched this guy pass the test. Is it time? And I started to get concerned. I'm like, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know how I feel.
Yeah, because I felt that his answer was so lackluster, and that should tell her everything, right? Like, just this guy ain't shit, and he will never
Yeah.
been shit, never will be shit, and that's what she should have gotten out of it. That it was just like it was just a messy situation, and he never deserved her time. And thank God she didn't, give up something that was really important to her.
Mm,
But instead, I feel like she's like, "Oh, sex is important."
to guys.
Yeah, and I should not lose this really good guy
Hmm.
instead.
It's it's tough because to me, for one, this is definitely the wrong line of thinking, and not so much to say that like sex is not important or whatever. It definitely is, and its importance
Yeah,
varies for a person, right? But I
correct.
think to me, this is almost removing Cooper's agency in y'all's relationship by saying like, no, I'm ready. I'm about to have sex. Like you didn't even give him an opportunity to like express if he is ready to have sex with you, or if this is something that's really important because he told her like I'm down with waiting, and now she's kind of like, but if I wait, he might cheat. It's like, well, he just passed the test, right? Like as far as we're concerned, he's mannerable and honest as he
Yeah.
didn't sneak off. But I think she's really scarred by, the idea that she didn't see the Calvin thing coming. She had no clue that he felt that way, that he wanted to, break from whatever promise ring bond they had and move on to, having some sex. And I think now she's worried, but again, she's making this decision like I have to decide right now about the thing that I actually did not plan on deciding to do for a while because I have to make sure Cooper doesn't leave. And it's like, do you really feel that way? Because Cooper has not given you any indication that he would leave, and he is also not Calvin. So, I don't know. I don't love it. I don't love that she's going to explore that unless she is ready. All right. And like only she will know if she's ready. But is she ready? Is she lying to him or is she lying to us? Because it don't feel like she's ready.
Yep. I feel that she's not ready, but maybe out of all the girls, I feel like she is a little bit, the way she presents herself, sorry, is the more sure way, right? Like she's more sure of herself. She's like, this is what I want. This is who I want to be. This is what I want to look like, even. So I just hope she doesn't get caught up in that. And or the positive version is, does she see it as like, maybe this isn't a big thing that I made it out to be, and maybe I should just, have sex with someone that I care about and that I know cares about me.
Yeah.
I don't
Who knows?
know. Yeah.
Know.
It just felt icky in that situation. And especially because his Calvin's response was so terrible. That was just like, I just want to have sex. And I knew I'd eventually break up with you.
Yeah.
Slap him.
Yikes. Yeah. We got to get Calvin out of here before the end of the year. I don't know how we're going to do it, but he's got to go. He's got to go. Time to transfer. Get out of here. Get kicked out. Let's get him kicked out of school. Not like actively get him kicked out of school, but for the writers, if you're listening to this, you can get rid of Calvin. It's okay.
He can just like transfer because they don't have a nursing program, right? At Essex, that's great. Kimberly just said that because she doesn't care about top 50 hottest, but top 50 colleges very much cares about. Just go to a college with a nursing program. I don't know. Get out of here.
Get out.
Shoot.
Scram.
And now the main attraction. My city girls are up, and you can't tell me otherwise.
I'm telling you otherwise. It looks like this.
Because why did two boys show up at my door?
Because she lied to them.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Let's be very clear.
And she's definitely cheating. We saw that in this episode as well. So, yeah, city girl behavior for sure.
Oh my God. So Whitney, of course, her first thing, she didn't even want to invite Isaiah, but gets bullied into it. And she very much is like, hey, I just want a real, person that sees the real me, not the perfect version I put up. Again, it's giving Kanan. I want Kanan. But anyway, so that's her goal. So Isaiah shows up and she throws him the orange and says, peel it for me.
Which is crazy because I would have dropped that orange on the ground. What?
He should have been like, I'm rich.
You want me to make you laugh real quick?
Yes.
A woman once threw a banana at me.
That's crazy. Why was I do that? Why would you think that's funny? I'm so confused.
I don't know, but I definitely was I would drop this banana on the ground.
As you should. Ugh. What a weirdo.
Yeah, who would do such a thing?
Anyway. And this is the last podcast Chappell and I ever did. Oh my God. But she literally throws it at him. And he, of course, throws it back. Like, peel your own damn orange.
I mean,
someone was just maybe wanting to give you alcohol instead. Yeah.
It was a banana flask. That is true.
Yes. But whatever. And of course, he, eventually they're just terrible. It's a terrible test. Isaiah's set up to fail. And Casey now needs a man, to see that, is he going to help them not squash the spider at 5 a.m., but going to help them fan some flames and put out the fire that is under all of them when they see him shirtless.
Yeah.
And did you see Bella?
Yeah, Bella's drooling. She's done. You
could have folded her faster than laundry.
Oh, yeah, she was done. This man took off his shirt, and that was all they needed to see. They did not let him put on his shirt either. The way these women just objectify these men. Oh, my God.
I love that.
Go to therapy.
Be like men. You make them feel how we feel.
For real.
Because he did not give a damn. He was just sitting there shirtless. Mm-hmm. Awkward, but shirtless.
You know what was very real? When he hit her with the girl, you live like this. I said, if that ain't relatable content, I don't know what is.
I do think girls are a little bit messier when it comes to like clothes than boys.
Oh, and the
Bathroom.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely been in the bathroom and where I'm like, "Oh my God." You're like, "What have you been doing in here? It's a
You
war zone.
can't
This is
help
crazy."
it.
It's like, "Please." Um,
I've shed worse than a dog. So I cannot, it's a very big problem in our house where Karthik will just be laying down and it's like hair.
just pulling hair. Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't know where this came from. I didn't mean to.
Are we led to believe that Whitney's room is always like that, or did she dirty her room up for the test? Because the
She,
women
yeah.
didn't seem like they were like too taken aback by it. Like they were like, "Oh, okay." So I didn't know if they were in on it or if this is just her.
But remember in the previous seasons, Bella has always been the quote unquote dirty roommate. So I do think this was a test. That's why they weren't shocked because she was supposed to dirty the room. I think the level of
Yeah,
dirt, the biohazard.
yeah. Can can I maybe posit another theory?
Yes.
I think she needs to go to therapy. We talked
Oh,
about,
duh.
but that's like a sign of depression as well, is when you like let yourself
Oh,
go.
right.
And
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about her and these boys, but we're gonna see by the end of this episode, she's not even in good graces with the soccer team anymore, right? She's
Yeah.
lying about her medical treatments for her fall. She's taking those shots, lying so she can stay in. She's obviously balancing some boy drama. She's had some personal issues as far as like her schoolwork and her balance between work and class and all this other stuff. And she went to therapy, but she didn't go to therapy. I'm like, this might be more than what meets the eye. This might be a red
Yeah.
flag, and not in the kind that like the normal ass, like, girl, you live like this, red flag. This might be like, you really need to go to counseling. Go talk to the professionals.
That's what you're right. I think this whole idea of I can't pick, I don't want to be perfect. She's attributing it to like liking Kanan more than Isaiah. But actually, now that you say this, is it that she doesn't really like herself right now?
Mm,
And she can be a little bit more honest with Kanan because when you're with someone, we've all fallen back into the trap, right? Like where you spin the block because they just know you so well that you
mm-hmm.
don't have to kind of explain. You don't start at level 1, you start at level 10.
Yeah, yeah, and I think
So that's where I'm feeling that you're right, that she's dealing with so much and Kanan just is easier.
Yeah, I think this is a mess. I think this is a mess, and it's crazy because we only have 2 more episodes left. But the Kanan versus Isaiah thing isn't resolved. We will see that she's
Mhm.
obviously a fan of Kanan, but we never saw a breakup between her and Isaiah at all. That could be bad. Um, Especially considering that gift that his dad gave. Not to say that that's going to be like he did tell her that wouldn't be an issue between the two of them, but we don't know what he's about to say, right? Like if especially
Yep.
if he finds out he's getting cheated on, if she leaves him and they break up, whatever, that's one thing. But you cheat on me after my dad gave you $200,000, and like I might not be able to forgive you anytime soon. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that that's like a gesture that was supposed to be held over your head, but it's also going to make me look at you crazy. The least you could do is break up with me. The least you could do.
Yeah, I just feel like I hope that she does not say anything about Kanan.
Yeah, she needs to break up with him before she does anything else with him. Because
Yes.
if he finds out it's just her in shambles. As a matter of fact, I could definitely see the next episode starting with her like having to deal with like the cheating, the sports, the schoolwork, the lab, and all of it just being like, hey, go to counseling. They called for a reason. You went
Mhm.
into the building and we've never resolved that storyline. I think she's got to go back. And I think this might be the thing that pushes her over the edge.
Yeah, I hope that. And where is Sherry? Like, where's her mom?
Her mom is busy, clearly. I think Sherry
They
Shepherd is
need
on a
to
new
come back.
show. I think she's
Yeah.
on a new show right now, and so maybe that was something that she was that she was
Hmm.
like filming or something, because it looks like she got up the entire season off.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
They had to bring her like
her
absent dad
dad in.
in.
Right, and I think they were very very poised to basically not have Whitney have a relationship with her dad at all. Like I think
Yep.
we were leaning toward that in the first couple seasons, and so I had to break glass in case of emergency when Sherry Shepherd gets way too busy with what she has going on now to be on every episode of Sex Lives of College Girls.
Yeah. So let's see. I mean, and the Sherry Shepherd, right? Like, there's just so many other shows. I understand, but we just need something because someone needs to shake her. And I don't know that it's necessarily her friends, which it
Mm-hmm.
might end up being, right? Because I don't know that there is another adult. Maybe Willow, who's on the soccer team with her.
Yeah, but she's still lying to her friend. Stop lying to your
Hmm.
friends. They're just trying to help. And so, yeah,
Yeah. So I just need
yeah,
some adult. Maybe the AFAM teacher. I don't know. I don't know.
yeah. Go to therapy. Go to
Where are the
therapy.
adults when you need them?
Yeah, but of course we saw Kanan pass the test. So there's that.
Caden is so hot, and he should have taken his shirt off. Why was it only Isaiah?
They've seen Kanan shirtless before. I think that Isaiah was like the new meat. These women are like brought in like, oh, no, he's old news.
Oh my god! And Kanan's reactions is how I would see yours, where he's like, "Oh, you want me to peel an orange? I'm gonna make a lot of fuss, but I'm gonna do it."
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
complain, but
yep,
I'm gonna still do it. And I'm also gonna be looking at you like I feel like I missed something because I'm slow. That's
yes,
that's another thing about me is that like I said, I would come over to get rid of the spider, surrounded by all the girls who could have definitely gotten rid of the spider, and then as I'm leaving, I'm like, hey, I, I think that was a setup. And then later on, I'm texting like the moon face emoji, like, so did I pass? That kind of thing. So I don't know.
exactly. Oh my gosh, it was very funny. And then of course he sees the room, and then this is where I said this is Chappelle because he finds the hoodie.
Oh, what? First thing I'm gonna do is that mine? And I'm gonna laugh and joke my way through this mess, through this muck in your room because I'm gonna get my hoodie. You crazy, especially if you got it in here getting covered in all your filth. Give me my stuff. Unhand this woman.
It was so funny. I said, "Oh, the girls in the hoodies. We're never beating the allegations."
No, never. Literally never. And I have been collecting items for years. Years.
I found something in my closet back home from high school where I was like, "Oh," my mom's like, "Should I throw this hoodie away? Why is it so large?" And I was like, no, you can't. It's so comfortable."
Meanwhile, I'm the type of person that see you post a picture in my damn hoodie 8 years later, and I'm in the comments. Is that
Oh,
my
you
damn
know
hoodie?
I would never be dumb enough to post it. Oh my gosh. It's just, yeah, it's very funny. I appreciate that Kanan, I think, sees her for who she is, doesn't
Mhm.
necessarily let her get away with it,
Yeah.
but sees her for it. And then Kimberly is the one that's like, "So Kanan, the one you kissed?"
Right. Because that's different. Because you lied and said
And I
you
was like,
kissed
"Oh
some
no,
random.
no, no, no."
Kimberly ain't bad. Kimberly ain't mad about it. Kimberly and Kanan
But she
tried to
got
do the thing.
Brian. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's got Brian. Like we're moving on from that. But if Kanan is in game, she got Kimberly got to get out the way and let Whitney explore this thing with her and Kanan again, or even Isaiah. She's been in the block. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we'll be here to find out.
Yep. And like I said, I still think it's an ick to get with your friend's man. Even if
Mm-hmm.
it was a sloppy second, now it's become a sloppy third. Like, that's weird. But
Mm-hmm.
outside of that, I'm excited for this. I enjoy them. And we do get a soccer game. I just want to say, because Isaiah is still supporting Whitney.
Right. That's how I know she's
So,
cheating.
yep,
Why you
exactly.
got this man
So,
skinning and grinning at your soccer match? Let me
city
find out
girls
you
up,
got me.
baby.
Let
That's
me
how.
find out you got me wearing my out here painted my shirt, my I painted your name. Oh my god. Let me find out. Oh, let me find out, bruh. Oh, oh yeah.
Teach us, Whitney.
Nuh-uh. No, Whitney, you're playing dangerous. Go to counseling. Women will do anything, everything, except
Women
go
in
to counseling.
women in male dominated fields, we gotta do it. I love it. Just listen. I do think Whitney needs therapy for herself. I think her coach is like really pushing her, and it's terrible. So
Mhm.
it's gonna come to an. I feel like it's gonna come to a head soon. I hope that's not a cliffhanger, that something bad happens to Whitney, but I have no idea.
Yeah, they got to address it. We've gotten a lot of like breadcrumbing when it
Yeah,
comes to
don't
the
piss
Whitney
me off.
storyline. Right. So you got to address it, and you got to address it soon, or I'm gonna be upset.
So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. I'm excited. What would have been truly diabolical if Kanan was there? So they were all Whitney with different levers. But
Oh,
maybe that's just me.
Kanan ain't crazy. Kane, we've seen this before.
Yeah, that's true.
Kane peeped that at the gym. Okay, he ain't showing up. The moment he see Isaiah, like that ain't my kind of party. Nah, that's that. If she had pulled that one off, I'd be up here singing her praises. She ain't that good. She ain't that good.
This is fiction. Just write it. Make it good for me.
She would be. I would have to concede at that point, and I ain't conceding. And I not because cheating is baseline city boy city girl attitude. Like if you real, if you're transparent, that's when you have reached the throne. When it's like you see me doing dirt and you don't care. She ain't got that in her. She ain't got that dog in her. I
I
don't
mean,
think she
it's
got it.
very easy because the second never cares. It's the first that cares.
Yeah, well, yeah, she got to win Kanan back over, and I don't think she can't. I'm not saying she can't do it. She has not done it thus far, so I can't give her the city
Yeah.
girl points
No,
yet.
I'm just
Right
speaking
now,
from experience. But anyway,
nah.
there's one you post on Instagram and one you don't. That's all I'm saying. So
Yeah,
anyway, that's terrible. I was young, everyone, please. And I was dating none of them officially.
live your life.
So anyway, and it's yeah, and that is it. That's where we end. I felt like it was a really nice well, it was a nice ending until it wasn't, where everyone's like kissing everyone and it's cute and then record scratch and all of it goes to hell.
Yeah.
So
So
we'll
we'll see what
see.
happens next. But I'm excited.
Yes, we're really excited. So we will be back. And maybe we have something also sex life of college girls related cooking up.
Hmm. Yeah.
So there will be a finale pod, of course, and there'll be some fun.
Yeah, and we love fun. So tune in and let us
Yes.
know in the comments if you have any questions about the show or stuff like that. If you got anything you want us to discuss for the finale, please let us know in the comments on YouTube at here on We Know Scripted. Or I think it's RHAP
Yeah.
scripted on YouTube. Check us out there or leave it in the comments on we know scriptedtv.com. Let us know what you think and if you have any questions about the show, and we'll try to address it as soon as possible.
Yes. And again, thank you everyone for listening. Leave us a 5-star review on the We Know Scripted TV podcast feed. And listen, help us out, okay? Please. And with that, Chappelle, where can the people find you?
People can find me on recapkickback.com talking about whatever I want to talk about. And we had a lot of content this winter from Recap Kickback. Mari and I joined Jason Reed, or Jason Reed joined us to talk about Cross. We covered the entire series, the Prime show, starting out as Hodge. It was great. We got that podcast up. G and I are doing a 3-part holiday series on How to Ruin Christmas, a South African comedy show on Netflix. It's incredible. And G and I should have all 3 of those podcasts to you before the new year. And so make sure you check out our whole series there because it's a great time. Tyrone and I have some content as well. We got, we wrapped up our Abbott Elementary first half of that, of that most recent season. And so we'll be coming back with more Abbott content. So a ton of stuff coming from Recap Kickback. Hell, even the Hey, Who All Gonna Be There podcast joined us to talk about Meet Me Next Christmas. So we got really festive toward the end of December on recapkickback.com. So check that out. And then check me out in some guest appearances too. I went in over to the Was It Good Though podcast to talk about The Best Man Holiday, which is an iconic Black Christmas movie that is insane and messy and toxic. And yeah, just to go check that out on the Was It Good Though podcast here on YouTube. And keep up with all I'm doing by following me on Twitter and Blue Sky and all other social media platforms at Recap Kickback. What about you, Sasha?
Yes. And as for me, when this comes out, I will be traveling, I think I will. But check out Mess Magnets, where Kirsten McKinnis and I talk pop culture, what's trending, what's not, why you need to be in the know. Check it out all out on messmagnets.com. And I think my traders thing might have come out, or if not, I will be talking about one of the cast of the traders. So check that out as well. And for everything else, just follow me on Blue Sky. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening. Bye.